Mike North, still here on Sports Talk Chicago. Mike, how likely would you say Trubisky is to return right now?
Oh, I think it's 50-50, and the Bears will regret it. You want Nagy? What happens? Wait, we just went through this with Foles. I mean, so, John, really seriously, are we going to take a chance with Jameis Winston or Mariota or Foles? Didn't we just go through this?
We did. I would hope they don't do it again.
Why would they only the Bears would want to do it again and bring the guy back that already screwed everything up? Nagy sabotaged the season. He's the only coach I've ever seen pull an undefeated quarterback out of the lineup and then sabotage his whole season by losing almost every game after that. And then they had to bring the guy back. They had to bring the guy back that they had no belief in. And the guy they had no belief in gets them in the playoffs, and now they want to dump him again. Only in Chicago would this happen for a guy that he beat 31-7. But I don't think Watson's coming here. He knows Mitch. You don't think he sees how the Bears are? You think he's just leaving one screwed up organization? He's better if he goes to Miami or somewhere else. You don't want to leave Houston, come to the Bears. That's a lateral move.
What do you envision for the Bears next year, based on all of these moves they've made so far and everyone they've retained?
Well, if they keep Mitch, I think they could surprise. I think that they could make the playoffs again. Twice in 4 years he's made the playoffs. I mean, Lamar Jackson's 1-3 and Mitch is 0-2. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm not saying he's better than Lamar Jackson, but there's a lot of quarterbacks, especially today, that are waking up this morning that didn't look so damn good in the playoffs. So I think that Mitch has become a better quarterback. If they don't keep Mitch, they'll be 4-12. I don't care who they bring in.
Even Deshaun Watson?
Well, they beat him, 31-7, didn't they?
They did. Watson can move.
And Mitch outplayed him, didn't he?
He did. He did in that game.
So why would you ask me that?
Because on the season.
We want to correct the wrong. Oh, my God. We've seen the newspaper shrink from 120 pages to 50 because of the people that are doing some of the writing in them. It's unbelievable. I mean, they want everybody but the guy they got who's damn good. He's not going to be Mahomes. Nobody is. He's not going to be Mahomes. He's not going to be Rodgers. He's not going to be either one. And neither is anybody else. Except one guy, Tom Brady. The genuflecting over everybody else is just nonsensical. I mean, Tom Brady's going to he's one game away from going to his 10th Super Bowl. Rodgers has been in one total. One. Drew Brees, if it wasn't for a bad call, Minnesota gave them that Super Bowl. And if it wasn't for the Ram game with the pass interference call, he might have had none. He had one, and Drew Brees had one. Rodgers has one. Manning has two. Peyton Manning. And I got to hear the nonsense about all these quarterbacks I've heard they were all better than Brady. All of them. And yet you're going to have a guy. You're going to have a guy making his 14th. Listen to this. 14th. He's going to be in his 14th championship game out of 19 years.
Wow.
And he's been if he's one win away from going to 10 Super Bowls, that's half his career.
Right.
And I got to hear the nonsense about all these other quarterbacks. It's comical. I mean, really, you know what? Here. What Brady's going to do, John, is if he wins the Super Bowl, Jordan couldn't do. It would be like Jordan going to the Wizards and winning it all. Brady is going to a team, an NFL team with 52 different people than he knew, except for Gronkowski, with a whole new system that couldn't get out of their own way. And if he goes to the Super Bowl, Jordan can't measure up. Can't. Because football is a tougher game to be successful in. Michael was still averaging 20 points a game. But if Tom Brady leads the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a Super Bowl or a Super Bowl win, That's 7 titles. That's more than Jordan's got in a tougher sport.
What does this season say about Brady and Belichick? I assume you would say Brady is the key cog to New England now, right? After all of this that's happened.
I've always said that Belichick's now the best coach that ever lived in the pros, and I've seen them all, from Lombardi to Shula to all of them. But Brady's the greatest player, quarterback that ever lived.
Right.
And if you take Brady away, there's no doubt in my mind that Brady looked at New England last year. Brady also said, I played 19 years in bad weather. That's why the nonsense said, even though it was rumored he was going to come here, the weather was never going to be 80 degrees.
Right.
Okay? So what he has done is unbelievable to me. Even in the first year. Now, Montana did it also with Kansas City.
Yes.
But so it's not like out of the realm of possibility. But he was younger than Brady, I believe. He wasn't 43.
No, he was in his late
And
30s.
Yeah. So this is just phenomenal. I'm rooting for the guy. I want to see. I'm not one of those guys that because life won't be complete unless Aaron Rodgers wins another Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers played in a very good era. So did Drew Brees. Drew Brees got hit hard once in his career, and they almost broke him in half. They broke like 12 of his ribs. So in the old days, he wouldn't have even lasted 5 years. He wouldn't have. In the 60s or 70s. He was too small. He wouldn't have lasted. The rules were too archaic. That's why these guys last forever now. I mean, I think Rodgers could play till he's 45 if he stays healthy. Look what Tom's doing.
How do you feel about the rule change?
Oh, I loved it when they mangled him. But Johnny Unitas, I mean, he'd get hit savaged every week, and there he'd be back again.
Right.
He threw a touchdown in 47 straight games back when throwing passes was not the. Think about that. He threw 47 straight games a touchdown pass. Brees just broke it last year. Wait a minute. They didn't throw the ball back then like they do now.
Not even close.
And look what he did. That's why he's a top 5 guy. I mean, that's insane. 47 straight games like in the early 60s. You got to be kidding me. You know, some teams didn't throw 37 times a whole season. My God, the Bears for sure.